Purpose. It's a word that gets thrown around in countless discussions, self-help books, and motivational speeches. Yet its meaning is deeply personal, shifting from one person to another, evolving as we move through life's different chapters. At its core, purpose is the inner compass that guides your intentions, actions, and aspirations. It's what instills meaning in your work, relationships, and daily routines. When you're aligned with this inner sense of direction, when your actions reflect what matters most to you, life feels richer, more vibrant, and even challenges feel surmountable. But what happens when that sense of purpose begins to flicker, and you find yourself operating on autopilot, disconnected from your inner rhythm? Burnout, an all-too-common phenomenon in today's world, is intimately entangled with our sense of purpose. It's not just the result of working too hard or too long, but more deeply, it can come from a misalignment between what you're doing and what brings you fulfillment. When the work you do, the roles you hold, or the obligations you juggle no longer connect with your deeper self, you begin to lose more than energy. You lose the pulse of your own rhythm. So, how can you tell if you've lost your inner rhythm? What are the subtle and sometimes obvious signs that you're not living in alignment with your purpose? Understanding this is essential, not only for your mental and emotional well-being, but for rekindling a life that feels both meaningful and sustainable. The first sign is often a gradual but pervasive sense of disconnection. You might notice it in the smallest of ways. Routines that once brought comfort now feel empty. Conversations that once sparked joy now seem dull or obligatory, and passions that used to light up your evenings now barely flicker. This isn't simply boredom or a fleeting mood. The disconnection is deeper. It's as if you're going through the motions, doing what's expected, but feeling oddly absent from your own life. This sense of absence can manifest physically, too. Perhaps you feel fatigued, no matter how much rest you get. You might experience headaches, muscle tension, or a heaviness that's hard to shake. The body often knows what the mind is hesitant to acknowledge. Something essential is missing. With this disconnection comes a loss of enthusiasm. The spark that once fueled your creativity, initiative, or problem-solving seems dulled. Tasks you once greeted with curiosity or drive now feel like a never-ending to-do list, each item more burdensome than the last. Even small accomplishments lose their sweetness, and praise or recognition feels hollow. Another telltale sign is a shift in your emotional landscape. Irritability thrives where purpose withers. You may find yourself more short-tempered, impatient, or prone to frustration over minor setbacks. Or the opposite might take hold, a sense of numbness, as if your emotional palette has faded into grayscale. You might find it difficult to muster excitement or even sadness, as if emotions themselves are just out of reach. As burnout seeps in, you might also notice a diminished sense of empathy, not just toward others, but toward yourself. Compassion. Fatigue makes it harder to connect with colleagues, friends, or loved ones. You become less patient, more judgmental, and sometimes even resentful of others' needs. This is your psyche's attempt at self-preservation, but it also furthers the divide between you and the sense of interconnectedness that purpose often brings. Cognitive symptoms emerge too. Concentration becomes a struggle. Thoughts are scattered and focus elusive. You may forget details, struggle to make decisions, or feel mentally foggy. Procrastination, once a rare visitor, now inhabits every corner of your day. What was once clear and structured now feels chaotic and overwhelming. All of these symptoms, physical, emotional, cognitive, are signals flashing urgent messages. Something within you is calling for attention. Yet, in a culture that valorizes busyness and productivity, it's easy to misinterpret or minimize these signs. We tell ourselves we simply need a vacation, a new job, or a different routine. But often, the true need lies deeper. The need to rediscover and realign with your inner rhythm. So how does one lose this rhythm in the first place? Sometimes it's the result of relentless demands, work deadlines, family obligations, or social expectations that pile up so high you can no longer hear your own voice beneath the noise. Other times it's more insidious, the slow accumulation of choices that, while seemingly minor, guide you step by step away from what truly matters to you. A job you took just for now becomes your decade-long reality. A hobby you loved is set aside, overshadowed by obligations. Your calendar fills with meetings and appointments chosen for necessity rather than joy or challenge. Transitions can also uproot your purpose. Perhaps you achieved a long-sought goal, only to be left with the unsettling question, what now? Or maybe life has thrown you an unexpected curve, loss, illness, or a dramatic change that makes old pathways obsolete. The rhythm you once established no longer fits the melody of your new reality. Losing your inner rhythm doesn't always happen dramatically. It often sneaks up on you, noticed only after it's been gone for some time. The background melody of your life, once lively and engaging, has faded to a monotone hum. Yet even in this loss, there is a quiet opportunity, the chance to listen closely, to pause, and to ask what genuinely moves you. The journey back to purpose isn't about radical, sweeping changes overnight. Instead, it's often a gradual process of tuning in, listening, and experimenting. The first step is acknowledging the symptoms, recognizing that burnout is a message, not a failure. It's your body, heart, and mind asking for realignment. Begin with reflection. Carve moments of quiet into your day, no matter how brief, and ask yourself, when do I feel most alive? What activities, people, or places replenish my energy rather than deplete it? Think back to activities or moments, no matter how small, that once brought you genuine satisfaction or joy. Sometimes, these are buried beneath obligations and habits, but with attention, they can be uncovered. Reconnect with your values. What truly matters to you beyond achievement or approval? Is it creativity, connection, growth, family, or something entirely unique? If your days are filled with activities that pull you far from these core values, realignment will require honest and sometimes difficult choices. Experiment with saying yes to things that resonate with your inner rhythm and no to those that don't, even if only in small doses at first. Reclaiming pockets of time for what matters signals to your brain and soul that your purpose is worth prioritizing. Seek connection too. Isolation deepens disconnection from purpose. Reaching out to trusted friends, mentors, or support networks can help you gain perspective, and sometimes their reflections help you remember parts of yourself you've forgotten. Shared stories of struggle and renewal are powerful reminders that purpose can be lost and found again and again. Allow yourself periods of rest, and not just physical rest. Rest from striving, comparing, and the compulsion to always be on. Purpose flourishes in the space between doing, in the quiet moments of being. Burnout, on the other hand, thrives in constant motion without reflection. Consider the role of creativity in rekindling your inner rhythm. You don't have to be an artist to benefit from creativity. Any activity that allows you to express yourself can serve as an entry point. Gardening, cooking, writing, music, tinkering with gadgets, even organizing your space. Creativity reconnects you with possibility, with problem solving, and with the state of flow that signals you're in tune with your deeper self. And above all, recognize that regaining your rhythm is an evolving process. Life isn't static, nor is your purpose. You may rediscover old passions or stumble upon new callings by accident. As you tune in more often, you'll begin to feel subtle shifts, energy returning, enthusiasm budding, moments of clarity and satisfaction emerging out of the fog. The path back is almost never linear. There will be days when the rhythm falters again, when burnout symptoms resurface and you feel lost. Be gentle with yourself. Fluctuations are natural. What matters is your commitment to continue listening, reflecting, and adjusting. Along the way, remember that your inner rhythm is yours alone. Comparison is a thief, not just of joy, but of authenticity. Your purpose may not look like anyone else's. It may not fit conventional molds, and that's not just acceptable, it's essential. Only you can know what melodies make your heart beat faster, what activities make time feel elastic and expansive. As you restore your rhythm, The world around you shifts subtly, too. Relationships deepen as you show up more authentically. Work becomes more meaningful, or you find the courage to seek out new paths. Life regains its color and texture, even in adversity, because you're no longer merely surviving. You're moving, however steadily, in tune with what matters most. Purpose, then, isn't a fixed destination, but a living, breathing rhythm that adapts to your evolving self. Burnout is both a warning and an invitation to pause, to notice, and to recalibrate. By learning to recognize the signs of misalignment and tenderness required to gently guide yourself back, you become attuned to the dance of your own life, step by step, falling out of rhythm and finding it again in a journey that is uniquely and beautifully yours.